Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, David.
So, as you know, in classic Playboy days, there was always a Playmate data sheet on the back of the gatefold, as we used to call it, and that gave up a lot of information about the Playmate of the month. But we don't have Playmates in Mise magazine. We don't have pets. We don't have any of that because we came up with a very unique new name for our featured model who spans across the centerfold of the magazine, and that's the model in the middle. And you are my first. So I'm going to ask you the top 10 questions for the model in the middle. But with you, since you're so special, I'm asking an 11th question, which none of the others will receive. But just so you know, we're going to ask you an 11th question. So let's start off with you telling everyone out there your name and where you're from.
I'm Stephanie Manescu, and I'm from Pennsylvania, but I am currently living in San Diego.
Okay, awesome. Can you give us your height and your measurements?
I am 5'4", 32 at the bust, 24 at the waist, and about 33 hip.
Awesome. Okay, question number three is what's your birthday, month and day?
June 1st. Did you know, David, that's Marilyn Monroe's birthday?
Oh, really? Hey, well, let's think about who was the very first playmate for Playboy. Well, it was Marilyn Monroe, wasn't it? This is pretty interesting and very special. And I did not know this because, I don't want people out there going, oh, well, he knew that. So that's why he chose Stephanie. No, I chose you because we've had a fairly good history of working together over the years. And I
Fairly
thought
good.
yeah, and I think it was really good to have you as my first model in the middle. And so that's why you were chosen. But the fact that you're the same birthday as Marilyn, hey, that's pretty cool. Question number four is tell us a little bit about what your ambition in life is.
Yeah. So in addition to doing modeling, I do photography as well. It's how I got my start in modeling, was my interest in photography. So I'd really like to own like a art space, co-op sort of thing for, musicians, photographers, artists, comedians, just to have, a cultural mecca of sorts,
Nice word.
in my hometown, in Pennsylvania, because there are a couple spaces that are becoming a little bit like that. But I would really like to be someone important in that space and give back to my community that I started in. And, just create a place for everyone to be artistic and have fun,
Awesome. That
not run
sounds,
by a man. So, the
but that sounds great. Okay. Okay, then question number five is what gives you the most thrill in life?
so for me, it's just being able to continue modeling is a thrill for me. Every shoot is so much different. I'm always in different locations. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to be doing for the shoot, and it's kind of always a surprise. It's always thrilling. It's not like the same sort of thrill as going on a roller coaster or jumping out of an airplane.
Okay.
But that's when I feel the most excited, the most thrilled, is being able to create with people who maybe see things differently than I do, and going out into the desert and taking epic photos, and then sometimes going hiking and taking photos there, or just always creating something new and always being on my toes. And even something like this where not expecting you to come out with a magazine, like that's the thrilling to me. You coming out with a magazine and being able to be a part of that, it's just freelancing and doing this as a model, even after 11 years, is always kind of thrilling because it's not the same thing every day, ever.
Awesome. After answering that question, now the reverse of that would be what is it that you dislike or what turns you off?
Well, let me see. I got a list somewhere. Um, I think the biggest thing was just poor communication and people being flaky, and not showing up on time, not showing up at all. People just not being transparent or communicating properly. I think that really frustrates me because I'm very direct. And it's kind of like what you see is what you get. Sometimes it's nice and sweet, and other times it's just like a little bit of venom. But you never have to guess what I'm thinking or guess if I'll show up. It's like very consistent, very reliable with me. And I have a really hard time dealing with people who can't be that.
Gotcha. Okay, question number 7 is, what is it that you like to do in your spare time? Something for fun. What do you like to do for fun?
Hate fun. It's a horrible thing. No, my favorite thing is definitely cooking. It's, my favorite way of expressing myself and being able to share that with other people, just being able to gift other people my time and my love and my effort into something tangible, that, goes away much quicker than you can get it. I'll spend 6 hours making a bolognese for my friends and it's gone in 10 minutes. And that's how you know it's a labor of love, because it's just like you could spend your whole day, multiple days making something that just for people to enjoy it for a few minutes. And I think like when people appreciate my food or like my food, it means so much to me. I think it's really touching. The food I make for myself is not quite as extravagant. I'm like, okay, chicken, green beans.
Simple for you, but for your friends, they're
Oh
special.
yeah, I love that.
Terrific. Okay, with that said, what do you have any favorite music or a favorite movie?
My music taste is pretty eclectic. So I listen to primarily rock music, I would say, but I was thinking earlier, like if you were on a 20-minute car ride with me, you would probably hear everything ranging from, metal to flamenco, big band swing,
Wow.
kind of a little bit of everything. It just depends on my mood, or even with cooking, putting on themed music is always kind of fun. But I can appreciate good music of any genre, for sure.
Terrific. If someone were to give you a plane ticket to anywhere in the world, where would you like to go?
Well, I've been trying to plan a trip to Europe since way before pandemic. I wanted to go from Italy to Portugal, kind of do a road trip,
Okay.
even fly to some of the destinations and just hit all the different amazing food spots in between. Great architecture and even just lighting, like the little alleyways everywhere. I think it's really beautiful. But the real answer to that is that I would just want to go home, visit my family, visit my friends. And it's been a long time of not being able to see them just between, working, the pandemic. It's the one place that I think about every single day where I'm like, man, if I could just fly there right now, just get lunch with my friend or, see my nieces, that would be amazing.
So just going back to
Oh.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, if someone were lucky enough to take you out to dinner, what's your favorite food?
Chicken tendies and fries. No, I'm kidding. No, I love Spanish tapas, but it depends on my mood that day. But Spanish tapas I think are really great because if you're with a group of people, you can try a bunch of different things. Little small plates, you can just try great cheeses and cured meats. Always good sweets, good coffee, wine. I think it could be as much of a grand experience as you want it to be, but also thinking of this now, I'm like, well, it could also be really short if it's a bad date. I could be like, we're just gonna get one, we'll share one tapa, and I'm out of here. But I think it's also great if you're, enjoying the company and enjoying the food to be able to have a whole spread of things,
Gotcha.
and it's so good.
Awesome. Well, those are our top 10 questions. Those are our top 10 questions. But there's an 11th that I'm going to toss to you and you will be the only one that will get this question since you are my very first model in the middle. I wanted to ask you what it means for you to be my very first model in the middle, the young woman with the same birthday as Marilyn Monroe. But what it, as well, by the way, I want to throw in and throw out there to everyone who's seeing this that not only is Stephanie the model in the middle, she's got a second pictorial, another one that she and I did for a art magazine in Europe last year that was seen in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So she has two pictorials in here.
One of my favorite shoots ever.
Oh, and you might want to tell people about that as well. And tell me what it's like to be the very first model in the middle for Miss A magazine.
Well, I haven't been the first of very many things. And your legacy at Playboy, I unfortunately was not a part of that. And I can't be your first, second, or last playmate or feature in Playboy, but being able to be the first of a new thing for you is very exciting because, you've taught me so much as a model, as a photographer, even just, connecting me to so many people that are extremely important to my life, and showing dimension and models that goes beyond just, here's my favorite color, my hometown is this, what, like just very shallow things. And I know that you have more of an interest in showing the personal beauty of a woman as well as the physical beauty. There's no silhouette shots here or just muddy, horribly lit photos of a girl that are just like for Instagram and generate likes because of popularity. Showing someone for who they are and not just doing it for the sake of followers or likes, but to really showcase someone's beauty in all forms, I think is really important. And being able to see you do something new and continue to educate and influence future photographers and models, I think is so important. And I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. And that's something that, a number of items that you brought up are all what I want to try to achieve with this magazine. I want to share how I do it, how I do the photo shoots. I want the models to be able to talk about themselves as much as anything else out there. And for the people to get to know them as a person as much as being just a model, because they're not just a model. They are a person first. And when I wrote my letter to the publisher, I emphasized that I want everyone to meet you ladies as people and who you are, as well as see the physical beauty of you all as well. So I want to thank you so much for being my first model in the middle, as well as the pictorial that we did, which was based on that movie that Denzel Washington was in, The Book of Eli. I think, and there's a lot of information about you in both the setups for those pictorials, by the way, in the magazine. So people will get a little bit more about you there as well. So thanks so much for doing this little interview for everybody to be seeing it on our website. And I'm sure I'll be working with you soon again.
I sure hope so. Thank you, David.
Thank you. See you soon.